Can't wait to start my business because now I'll have more time and more money. That's probably the number one thing I hear most often about starting a business. And the reality is, can you have more time? Yes. Can you have more money? Yes, but probably not at the beginning. Think about it this way. You're starting a brand new project. You're building a framework. You're getting it off the ground. When you're in that launch phase, and you're getting it off the ground, you have to put so much force, so much time, and so much energy and resources into it. So if you're starting a business because you want more time, that's okay, but just understand, not at first. All right, I look back now, I'm 10 years into my business. Now, there's definitely ways to do it faster, but at the beginning, especially the first couple of years, I worked more. Like, that's the funny part about it. Oh, I could work a 40-hour week, but if you start a business, you're probably working 50, 60, 70, 80 hours to get that thing off the ground and get it going, and probably not making the kind of money you want. You know, so many of us sort of overestimate what we're gonna accomplish in that first year, yet we underestimate what's possible over a 3 to 5 year period. And so understand that up front, you're probably not gonna make the money you want, and you're probably not gonna have the time freedom you desire, but you can over time if you commit to those daily disciplines and the time on the task. The second myth is, I can just do it myself. If I do it myself, I'm gonna save a ton of money. That's probably a myth I bought into a lot. Oh, there's this task and this task. Well, I can do it, right? I can do video editing, which my video crew would laugh, and we look back at the videos that I did because I just didn't have the resources and the money to do it, was what I told myself. Look, there are so many ways today to get good help and do it in a cost-effective way. There's virtual assistants and outsourcing things that you can do that save you time. Your most important job as a business owner is income producing activities. That is the most important thing. If you're not doing income producing activities, the business will not survive. So a good rule of thumb to overcome this myth and really tackle it is, anytime you're doing something, look at it and say, is what I'm doing now an income producing activity? If it's not, can you outsource it? Or look at it and say, hey, I'm writing this operating procedure, I'm creating this ad. What is the dollar amount I could pay a virtual assistant to do that task? I could either hire a virtual assistant, I could go to something like Fiverr.com and just outsource that one task, but don't try to do it all yourself. Focus on income producing activities. Only certain types of people will be successful in business. Well, that could not be further from the truth. Not only can all personality types be successful in business, but they're needed in business. And I have friends who are very extroverted, outgoing, very driven. I have some who are more introverted and more into the details, and they work. Why? Because they know where their strengths are, and that's where they double down on. They don't try to make up for all the gaps by themselves. They bring other people in that can support that so that their entire organization can be successful. Remember, your business operates, if it's truly a business, can operate independent of you. You add value to the business. Don't let the business take value from you. For you to be successful, just hone in on the things you're good at. What are your superpowers? List them out. And those are the things you want to double down on, and then hire to the other things that you're lacking. The next one I hear all the time is, I have to have money to make money. It's true that having money when starting a business is helpful, but I also am a firm believer that if you have no money, it can be incredibly helpful, because it's gonna drive you and force you to move in a direction that requires you to generate income. Again, remember that your entire role is about income producing activities. I love the phrase from the movie where it talks about, if you build it, they will come, right? Field of Dreams, thank you, Field of Dreams, right? If you build it, they will come is the concept from Field of Dreams, that people think that in their business. Like, if I just build this, then customers will show up. I can't tell you the number of times that I've actually gone and got customers and then went and built the thing that we sold them. I needed to know if it was a viable idea before we went and spent all this time in building it. There's ways you can do that. So you don't always have to have it all figured out. You don't always have to have money to start. Be resourceful. I love the story of Kenneth Cole when he talks about how he launched his company. There was a big event and he wanted to have a table to talk about his products, his shoes, etc. And he didn't have much to sell and he couldn't afford to be in the event. So what did he do? He pulled up a truck outside and started talking to people about his shoes as they were coming into the event. Well, he got in trouble. They said, you can't be out here doing this unless you have a permit. Goes down to the city or the county or whatever, and they said, the only way you can get a permit is if you're like shooting a movie down there. And so he says, okay. So he goes out and he gets a business card, and I think it says Kenneth Cole Productions, and he goes out and gets another person he pays to be there with him. They pull up the truck and guy's holding a camera. And the story that I've heard is that there wasn't even tape in the camera, just following them around. And now he's got his permit and he's out there, selling shoes. And that's how he got to start the start to his company. So it's not about having the resources, it's about being resourceful and being able to create opportunities to grow your business that bring in income. The last one I hear all the time is, boy, I'll get there if I just work harder. If I just work a little bit harder, I can make it to that next level. If I work just a little bit, I put a little bit more time in, and instead of 12 hours, I work 16 hours. If I just do that, I can just break through and be successful. While I believe working harder is a key, being persistent and doing whatever it takes is a key, there's also a component of working smarter, right? And that's dialing in who's my ideal client. Am I targeting messages directly to them? And what I'm doing now in income producing activity. So it's not just working harder, it's working smarter. If you can align that with some of the other things I shared with you, you can be successful. And the way to do that and overcoming these myths is find somebody who has been or where you want to be that can cut the learning curve down for you. Understand, if you're starting your business today, there's people that walk the path. There's people that have made the mistakes that you don't have to, if you're willing to get in front of them and learn from them and do what it takes to be successful. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe to our channel and share it out to somebody who's getting ready to start their business. They may be saying these kinds of things, understanding that they are just one relationship away from changing their future. There are only a couple of frameworks that they need in there to be successful. And these are the kinds of things that we share in these videos. So our team entirely appreciates you following and subscribing to this. And if this is helpful, please share it out to somebody getting ready to start their business.